Hey guys, it's Amy at Zoe Beck, and I'm going to do my November 2021 TBR. So Nonfiction November is in November. So is NaNoWriMo. So I am going to do National Novel Writing Month again this year. I have participated since 2006, so on and off I've done very well, sometimes not so good. Last year, unfortunately, I didn't get to complete due to family things. And so I'm hoping to focus this November a lot on my writing. So I've not been writing pretty much since the pandemic. So I don't know, I don't have a novel idea. I'm just going to be writing every day. I'm just going to sit down and do my 1,667 words every day and just try to get back into the mode of writing every day. And again, I'm hoping to then reignite into a novel idea somewhere and be able to start writing again. I do miss it. I just feel like I've really backed away from it, letting my reading become a higher priority. And I really want to get back to where I have a balance, which is always hard for me. So, but Nonfiction November is put on by a Book Olive, and it is a reading initiative to read more nonfiction than you normally would. Now, I read usually 1 or 2 nonfiction a month. Sometimes I read more, sometimes I read less. So, Nonfiction November, I always try to read at least 4. I try to do 1 a week kind of thing. But I have a few that I'd like to get to. Olive has a couple of reading prompts, so I will go through the books that I picked for those. I'm not sure I'm going to read all these books. As I said, I'd like to read at least 4 of them for the month, but because I'm going to be focusing on my writing, I'm not sure how many books I'm going to get read this month. And again, I do have a couple other books that I want to read this month as well, so we'll see how this goes. So just a heads up. The first prompt in Nonfiction November is collection. So I decided to go with Liar, Temptress, Soldier, Spy, 4 Women Undercover in the Civil War by Karen Abbott. This is a book I've owned for 2 or 3 years that my dad and I bought together, and I'm supposed to read it and then give it back to him, and I totally haven't done it. So I had a collection because it's 4 different women's stories, so I thought it was a collection of stories. That's the way I made that work. This is the only one I have for this prompt at this point. I could come up with something else later, but I'm going to try to read this one. As I said, I don't know if I can get an audiobook for this one, but I know I've had this physical for so long, I should just read it. So this is definitely one I want to get to, because again, I need to give it back to my dad. The second prompt is industry. So I picked, maybe I only picked 1 for this one. I guess I picked 1 for this one also, and that is Radium Girls, The Dark Story of America's Shiny Women by Kate Moore. So I think I have an audiobook for this one as well. For this one for sure. So this one's about, again, the women who worked in the factories with radium and how they had to use the paintbrushes, and then they put it in their mouth and they, got radiation, poisoning. So again, I've heard really good things about this book, and I've read some fiction that kind of talked about it, and so it's always made me interested to read a book like that actually is about those women and things that happened. So I do want to read that. So again, I have that for industry because it's in an industry because they were working in factories. So number 3 is style. So I have 2 books for style. One I'm hoping to read is The Heroine's Journey by Gail Carriger. She is one of my favorite authors, but this is her book for writing. This is for writers, readers, and fans of pulp culture. So again, I think it looks like it's going to be kind of a pretty fast read. But she talks about like the heroine's journey instead of the hero's journey. It's kind of off of that, and it's her take on that. So as I said, she's one of my favorite writers. I bought this ebook wise, but I finally just bought the physical so I could make notes and stuff. So it's because NaNoWriMo is happening, I didn't get to this before November, so I'm hoping to read it maybe during it, and maybe it'll spark some interest or some ideas for stuff I'm going to write, because again, I'm going to write just whatever comes to mind every day. So that one, and again, I went by style because writing style and stuff, like, see how that worked that? And then the other one for style I picked is Romantic Outlaws, The Extraordinary Lives of Mary Wollstonecraft and Mary Shelley by Charlotte Gordon. This is a book I started last year, but I didn't finish, so I've got 110 pages in. But I want to finish this. I have this also on audio, and I picked this style. I'm thinking romantics is like a style, a culture, like a movement. That's as close as I'm gonna get. And anyway, so that's it. But it's talking about Mary Wollstonecraft and her daughter, Mary Shelley, and that there it's really interesting because it does, like, it'll do Mary Wollstonecraft for a chapter, and then the next is Mary Shelley, and then Mary Wollstonecraft, and it shows them at the same age and what they were doing. It's very interesting. So I like it so far. I'd like to finish it out. It is a Booktube spin book, so I also would like to finish it for that reason. So anyway, that's that. And then problem number 4 is treatment. Again, I have 2 with different kinds of terms for treatment. The first one is The Ghost Map, the story of London's most terrifying epidemic and how it changed science, cities, and the modern world by Stephen Johnson. So this one is about, I think, a cholera outbreak in 1854. And it shows how by using maps and the locations of where people were getting sick, they found out where the outbreak was. And so I figured that from treatment, they're trying to treat the problem of the cholera. This is good. This is good. I have many map books. I went through a period where I bought a lot of books that are about maps, and I haven't read one in a couple of years, so I thought I better get one of them on my TBR. So this is the one I'd like to get to. And then the other treatment is more treatment of women or people, and that is Dreams of Trespass, Tales of a Harem Childhood by Fatima Mernissi. And this is about a woman who was born in Morocco in 1940, and I think it's her story of she was part of a harem, or she was attached to it somehow. I'm not so sure. I mean, it sounds like she grew up in that environment. So it's her talking about the women who are around her in that harem. So that's book I bought like in January after reading a book on, I think, Morocco for Invisible Cities, and I just never got back to this book that I got. So I'm going to use that as treatment because of treatment of people. So those are my nonfiction November picks. I could pick up other things. I could switch them out, but those are the 6 that are the top of the ones I want to read. So then the other things I want to read in November, I'm going to be continuing the Kate Daniels series with my buddy Reed with Tea and All the Books. I know we're going to read probably Magic Binds. We might read the one, we might read Magic Stars, I think is a novella in between, and then, what's the next one? This is Binds. No, do I have the wrong one? I have the wrong one. There's the one before this. Sorry. Magic Shifts, I think, is the one before. So it's one of the 2. I don't know. We're going to be reading another Kate Daniels. I don't know which one it is. Forget it. I've got mine out of order on my shelf. That was bad on me. I would love to finish off the Vicomte de Brigillon by Alexandre Dumas. This is translated from the French by David Coward. This is book 3 in the D'Artagnan romances. And I need to finish this book so I can continue on and finish the series. So I'm about 162 pages in, and it is a book I do want to finish this year. So hopefully maybe November will be the time to read that. I don't know. I have December too, but I'd like to pick up The Reckoning of Gossamer Pond by Jamie Jo Wright. I want to try her writing because she has a lot of books that are these dual timelines, kind of spooky-ish kind of books, and I kind of like to try one. So I have this one, and I'd like, before I buy any more, I need to try it, and it just seems like the right time to read that one. I don't know. We'll find out. Maybe I'll get to Winter's Orbit by Everina Maxwell. This is my other Booktube spin book, so I'd like to get both of them knocked out this month. That would be good. If not, this can go into the next month. This is, again, a sci-fi romance. I think it's, I think there's 2 princes that have to marry for political reasons, and there's some mystery involved with one of their significant other's death. I don't know before that. And then if it's possible, I'd like to get to Challenge by Bevita Sackville West. This is one of her most, what do you want to say, autobiographical books, but it's twisted in a way. So it isn't exactly what happened to her, but she's changed it, but it's also really revealing about some of the stuff she went through at one point. So I really want to read this. I'm hoping to get to it, but we'll see. This might be carrying also over into December, because that is a lot of books. I don't plan to read all those. I hope to get to a lot of them, and who knows, I might pick up other ones. I do have Perhaps the Stars from Ada Palmer coming from my library at some point, so I don't know if I have that on my Kindle here real quick. And Oh, it's not going to pop up, is it? Because it doesn't like me. So that's the 4th book in the Terra Ignota series. So I'm sure I'm going to read this as well. This is probably going to happen. I'm getting the book from the library. And then it just depends on how I, if I get time, but it's pretty short. Oh, come on. Oh, this thing has been, is also the Tad Williams Brothers of the Wind, which is a novella. It's like a prequel to The Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn and the Witchwood Crown series. So I'm really looking forward to both of those books. Both of those are highly anticipated books for this year. And they're both coming out in November. So I'm pretty sure I'll pick them up during November, but we'll see. So that's it. Again, way too ambitious. I did try to actually cut this down and it still is outrageous. So yeah, I'm not going to read all these, but I'm going to get as many as I can. And as I said, November is going to be kind of a different month for me. And I just want to put it out there that I probably won't be making as many videos. I think I'm going to be focusing more on my writing, and then what reading I do will probably take up the rest of the time. So I probably will not have very many videos during November. So that's just kind of a heads up. It's not like I'm going like fully on hiatus, but I'm definitely cutting back for November. November is going to be a very sparse month for videos. Anyway, so are you guys doing on Nonfiction November? Have you guys got all your stuff picked out? Have you read any of these? Are any of these your favorites that I need to pick up sooner rather than later? And are you doing National Novel Writing Month? Are you doing Nano? And are you prepared? Because I am not. So anyway, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.